You want me to put that on my Tudor?
This one's wife. You're absolutely right, but she'll never listen. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. My work is here to educate you, to help you understand about narcissism and psychopathy, and with particular reference to this one's wife. Time and time again, I see people across various forums, below the line, almost tearing their hair out in frustration at why this one's wife behaves the way that she does, that they can't understand why she keeps on doing what she does. And if you embrace my work and understand narcissism, it all makes sense. You won't like it, but it's not about liking it, it's about understanding, for with understanding comes freedom. An example of this arises from a tweet that came my way, written by somebody that goes by the name of Catherine the Great. It's an articulate tweet, and one cannot criticize its content. It's accurate in what the writer has stated. But it is indicative of, no doubt, the frustration that this writer feels, both in terms of the behaviour of this one's wife and the sense of unfairness for the behaviour towards Catherine, Princess of Wales. Nevertheless, it provides me with a useful opportunity to demonstrate how such behaviour ultimately is fruitless when it comes to the narcissist. The tweet is in the form of an address towards this one's wife. Dear this one's wife. It then quotes something that this one's wife stated, namely, platform for quite a bit of hate and rhetoric and incentives people to, I think it should read incentivize people to create pages where they can churn out very, very inciting comments and conspiracy theories that can have a tremendously negative effect on people's mental health. This was something that this one's wife stated at International Women's Day, 8th of March 2024. The author of this tweet then goes on to address this one's wife accordingly. Your legion of obsessed fans, who have confirmed that this has been done in your name, have churned out the following conspiracy theories this year alone, following the publication of #Endgame, a book I believe you had a direct hand in publishing. Simply look at the millions of tweets under the following hashtags. Kate Middleton is a racist. This hate was a direct result of the accusation by Omid Scobie in his book Endgame, where he had confirmed he had come to know the royal racist. He could only have got this lie from you or the king. Yet you remained silent about this false accusation, similar to your silence following your lies on Oprah. #WhereIsKate and #WhereIsKate Middleton. This obsession by your cult is not too dissimilar to the obsession with Diana by the Paps and their long lenses in the 90s. We have simply swapped them for the obsession of your fans. Let's look at some of their conspiracy theories. Catherine has had a hysterectomy. Catherine has had plastic surgery on her face. Catherine has had boob augmentation. Catherine had surgery to fix damage inflicted on her by William's domestic abuse. Catherine had bottom augmentation. Catherine had an affair with Thomas Kingston, which results in a pregnancy. Catherine is divorcing William and has run away. Catherine has an eating disorder and is in a mental hospital. Catherine has a drug abuse problem and is in rehab. Catherine has an alcohol problem and is in rehab. Catherine is in a coma. Catherine is dead and the royal family are hiding the news. Catherine had an affair with Andrew, her uncle by marriage. Catherine has had a mental breakdown and has been institutionalized. You, this one's wife, have never had this degree of hatred and obsession. I have real concerns with your loss of control of this group and the fear that this hate against Catherine will leave the virtual world and enter the physical world. You don't believe me? Simply read the tweets. And finally, look at #WilliamDidIt. This, to me, is the most disgusting of the hateful conspiracy theories. What they are accusing William of is murdering Thomas Kingston. The accusation is that William learnt of an affair between Thomas and Catherine, who had fallen pregnant, and William shot him. This at a time his wife of 4 years has to deal with his very public and sudden death, whilst at the same time come to terms with how he was found. This is Harry's relative, someone whom he should be protecting, and not allowing his terrorist cult to spread conspiracy theories about. Yet you sit on your public relations throne and have the audacity to play the victim once again, whilst your pathetic husband smiles unlovingly, knowing full well the hatred you have orchestrated and grown since leaving the royal family. This terrorist organisation you and your husband have thanked over the years is a direct reflection of you. They must be stopped and held accountable for their criminal behaviours. If you don't rein them in, they will be the end of your brand worldwide. Thus, this is the tweet that Catherine the Great advanced. You can sense her frustration, anger, sense of injustice. And furthermore, much of what she writes there is entirely accurate. It's fair in what she states. The conclusions that she draws are legitimate. It's directed towards this one's wife. Now, that tweet has been seen 196,000 times. We don't know whether this one's wife has seen it or it's been brought to her attention in some way. But if it has, the articulate nature of Catherine the Great would have been shifted to this. In other words, it would have been utterly meaningless to this one's wife in terms of her feeling guilty, showing a conscience, understanding that something needs to be done. You might as well have been writing in Swahili for all of the actual understanding that she will have. This isn't because she will look on it and say, "You're absolutely right, but fuck you." But rather, her narcissism will not allow her to process that she is at fault for these things that have happened. Her narcissism will either say, "You're making all of this up, none of that has been stated, that's just nonsensical," or, more likely, "I can't be responsible for the way that other people behave." And yet, she could. Because, of course, she could state something. She could condemn the behaviours. It might not stop them, but it might go some way to reducing them. But she doesn't, because she doesn't believe that she has any such responsibility. And she doesn't, because she has no desire to do anything that might be helpful towards the Princess of Wales, because she has no emotional empathy for her, and because the Princess of Wales is painted black. This tweet, were it to come to the attention of this one's wife, would simply provide her with fuel, because it's directed towards her, albeit challenge fuel, because it's criticising her. And it would be necessary for her to nullify that threat to control by simply remarking to somebody about, "Oh, look, here's another crazed Wales fan," or "Why do they think that I'm orchestrating this campaign when it's nothing to do with me? This woman is a crazy." Or she would simply reject it in her own mind as, "Yes, the rantings of somebody who doesn't know me and doesn't understand, probably a racist." Notwithstanding the fact that what Catherine the Great has written is accurate, is fair, and comes clearly from a position of caring about what might happen to the Princess of Wales, this is utterly irrelevant to this one's wife. You are never going to make the narcissist be accountable. You are not going to make the narcissist accountable by writing to the narcissist. All you're doing is feeding them with the fuel that they so desire. Accountability can be forced upon a narcissist by application of the law, but here that doesn't appear to be an appropriate route. I regularly explain to those that I consult with that you look at what it is you want to achieve and determine, is it something that can be done by application of the law, i.e. do you have an appropriate cause of action, and if you do you have evidence that will enable you to succeed? If so, then you should look at utilising the law to make the narcissist accountable, i.e. make the narcissist accountable for paying child support, make the narcissist accountable for repaying money that's owed to you, make the narcissist accountable by putting a restraining order on them or sending them to prison. But where you don't have the legal means of doing so, threat, cajolement, persuasion, it's all a waste of time. Catherine the Great may well feel better for getting that off her chest. Fair enough. It may also, of course, be done not so much to think that this one's wife would respond to it, but to want to show to other people what she is responsible for, to perhaps change the minds of others who are not narcissists. If so, again, fair enough. But it is important to remember that such conduct directed towards the narcissist is ultimately entirely ineffectual with regard to that narcissist, that you're continuing to engage with the narcissist, which could have adverse repercussions for you, and you're providing the narcissist with fuel. And instead, you need to consider alternative methods should you seek accountability. A well put together tweet, no doubt about that, and it provides me with an opportunity once again to demonstrate how a narcissist would regard such a publication, and also to help you understand your role in all of this. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.